Hello and welcome to a special episode of the Idaho Renaissance Fair YouTube page. Today we have some very special members of our cast and crew that are going to be helping us as we thrift a costume for the Renaissance Fair. Start here on the right here. Who do we have?
I'm sorry. I'm Josh Daines. I'm Vice President of Operations with the Idaho Renaissance Fair, Inc.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. City living. City living.
Yep.
I'm Kathleen. I'm the president of Idaho Renaissance Fair.
I am Alyssa. I am the scribe for Idaho Renaissance Fair.
So the whole main goal, again, we are so thankful to the Idaho Youth Ranch Thrift Store. If you want to support a wonderful organization that always gives back to the community, they are a fantastic group to go through, and they have amazing options. So as we go through, what our goal is to help you see how easy and how affordable it is to find yourself a good Renaissance Fair costume. So let's head on in and let's figure this out.
So for today, our goal is to find budget-friendly costume items from a thrift store. Thankfully, Idaho Youth Ranch has graciously agreed to let us be here today. And so we're going to start with Josh, and his goal is to find an Ren Fair appropriate costume for $100. When he's done, me and Alyssa will take our turns, and we each we're gonna see if we can go a little under $100. And Tyson is gonna get in here, and he is gonna also take his opportunity to see if he can scout out a costume for about the same price range.
All right, so I honestly do not know what kind of character I'm going to be looking at, so I'm going to build the character as I find the shirt. I will probably start with some kind of very neutral looking pants and then move on to a shirt and so on and so forth, but as I build the costume, I'll figure out what kind of character it's going to go off of. Pants, I've got pants over here, and I've got a whole aisle of pants here. I'm going to be looking for something that looks a little bit more Ren Fair appropriate. I'm also going to try and stay away from heavy materials like sweatpants or things like that, because it's going to get hot in an event. Denim, probably not the most Ren Fair appropriate, although in a pinch, if it's the only thing I can find, I can make it work. Let's see. So this piece actually feels like it would be really, really good. It feels like it's more of a linen style. It might be a little heavy, but it's strong, it's firm, and then also looking at size, this is an extra large, so it should fit me fine. And honestly, I'll look through a few more, but I think this might be what I go with.
What's the cost on it?
Cost on this is $6.98. Is a fun piece. That is bright red. If I were doing something a little more rich, a wealthy person, a merchant, maybe even someone in the clergy, I might pick something like this. It's about the right length, and this also has, it's a decent size for me as well. This is $5.98. So I think I'm gonna keep both of these as options as we look. Things like cargo pants, they're very nice and very good for modern times, but don't really fit the Renaissance feel. So this is the kind of thing you would probably want to avoid if you're trying to look time appropriate. The pants ideas we had looked at, we had the more peasant looking one and a more wealthy looking one. So I'm going to be looking for shirts that kind of fit both of those aesthetics. There's actually some really good, usually at thrift stores, you get really good, nice looking shirts. Lots of dress shirts are available. So you want to be picky though when you're looking at dress shirts, because sometimes they don't necessarily fit the aesthetic of the Ren Fair. You can tell this one, that's very much a modern cloth. As you dig down through here though, Yeah, so this is something you'll want to avoid, camo print. Let's see. This one looks decent. So here's one that I would can see myself taking as an option. It's a button-up, so it's not necessarily the most accurate, but the fabric style and the look would fit very, very well with a richer peasant or a poorer merchant. And then it's not necessarily that big of an issue to have buttons up the front. If you need to, you can always take, get some wooden toggles or something like that and replace buttons as long as they fit through the buttonholes. So this is going to be one that I'm going to definitely keep. This is low. I'm not sure the size. This is a large. It might be a little small on me, but we'll see. Ooh, this is a good find. This is not necessarily clergy, but this is another one that would go well with the peasant outfit. This is $6.99, and it's actually a bigger size. So I'll drop this one in here as well. This isn't bad. It's an extra large, so it should fit me. It's just a straight white t-shirt. There's nothing else on it. This could fit a Renaissance style aesthetic. This is $2.97. So I will probably put this one in to pair with those shorts that I got, the red ones. All right, so we tallied up what we had with the shirts and the pants. It's roughly $35 that I've picked out so far. And if I need to, I can pull one of those items out and drop that price down if I find accessories that are really important for me. Belts. Belts are something that's going to be really important to look at. Most belts that you find nowadays are going to be something along the lines of this. It's going to have a clasp. It's going to have buttonholes. That's perfectly fine. Later Renaissance, they did have clasps with buttonholes. This one is probably a decent idea. It's a nice sturdy belt. It'll hold. It also is one that should fit my size. It might be a little small for me, but oh, that's a lot small for me. But this is $5, right? So that would, if I were to get this belt, it would be an increase of $5 on it. It would put me at $40 out of the 100 that I have. All right, so shoes. Shoes are something you're gonna wanna take particular note of. Not many people will notice the shoes, but if you're walking around in a Renaissance outfit and you're wearing Converse, if you're wearing All-Stars, it's gonna look out of place and it'll actually draw people's eyes to your feet. So you're gonna wanna take a look at some good options for shoes. Here is the men's shoe rack at the store we're at, the thrift store. And so we're gonna look at the different things, some things that you're gonna wanna stay away from. The coloring on shoes like this, probably not a good idea. River shoes, the fabric, the coloring. Also, river shoes over the course of a long day on the ground are going to be very, very uncomfortable and hurt your feet. These shoes are a bit fancy. They've got some scroll work here. However, this is something that could have been worn in the Renaissance era, or in those times. And so these are actually in my size. That is a $10 price tag. I'm going to leave these here while we walk and look at a couple of these others and see if there's anything else. But that's going to be one I'm keeping my eye on. Boots like this are probably going to be something you're going to want to stay away from. It's a Skechers. It's got the logo on the tongue. That's easily blacked out if you have some shoe oil though. But the way the lacing is doesn't feel right with any of the characters that I've been looking at. Something like this, more moccasin style, that's something that would be appropriate. These guys are size 12, which is way bigger than my foot. So I'm not going to look at these, but this is something that could be worn very easily. Again, fabrics not necessarily appropriate. This would not be appropriate for wearing as a costume piece. If you come over this way though, these guys, now you'll notice it's the lacings, and I said over here the lacings weren't quite right. Part of that is because of how high up the ankle it goes. This shoe, this lacing, the type of lacing it is, where the eyelets sit, they're not massive metal eyelets on the actual where the laces go through. This is something that I would wear for a costume piece. It is way too small for my feet, so I'm not going to pick this one, but this is something that you could. This is also one that you could. What size is this guy? 13, even bigger than the 12s. These guys I could wear, but they're too small. Something like these slip-ons where there's not any actual fine detail, but you know, I've actually worn shoes that looked almost exactly like this as costume pieces before. This is just a little too small for me, so I think I'm probably gonna, oh, these guys actually are what I've worn before. Same brand, same form, same everything. Different size, too small for me, but this is, again, the kind of thing we want to look for. I think I will stick with these guys because my feet, and it's going to shape my character into slightly more of a higher class. I will not be working in the mud or the fields in these shoes. I might be selling something. So another option, and it's not something that I'm gonna go with, but just kind of, I have also shopped for my costume shoes in the women's section, because in the Renaissance, men wore heels. It was a very manly thing to wear heels. And so that is something else that you could look at. If you know what your size is in women's shoes, you can look over there. If you're looking for something even higher class, nobility or something like that, you'd want to put heels on. I don't have anything that's necessarily nobility in my cart, so I'm going to stay away from that for this character. Accessorizing. I couldn't find a belt. However, if I'm going to do a merchant character, which is more with the shoes that I picked, is going to be something that I'm looking at, you want something that says, hey, I'm wealthy. In the Renaissance, things were not quite as separated between who could and couldn't wear certain things. So this right here is something I found. It's on this rack. There's lots of different jewelry pieces and whatnot. I will still probably try and find where they have rings, like finger rings and whatnot, because that would be another thing that I would like. But this is very, very good representation of a merchant. A lot of times merchants would wear chains made of some form of precious metal. So something like this works really well for a merchant. And it is $7.29. So it's a good find for an accessory to add in that look of, hey, I'm a wealthy merchant.
Hi, I'm Alyssa. In case I'm going to be showing you a kind of quick Romany style dancer, in case kind of as if it's like a last minute going to the fair and you need something but you're not quite sure what you're looking for. So this is what I've chosen. This is going to be kind of like a base right on the top, and then on top of that I'm going to have more of this corally type of top or shirt-ish thing, and I think they're gonna blend well together. So then just over on top of that is gonna be this skirt, It's a little short for peasantry, that's why we're doing Romany style dancer. And then either to go around my waist or as a head wrap will be this beautiful sparkly piece of art that is a scarf. So this all will come up to about $30. As an accessory, we can add these earrings in and it will come up to about $40 after that.
Hey, okay, so while the guys were out looking for all of Josh's stuff, I did some perusing and gathered all of my pieces. When we first got here, I wasn't sure if I was gonna do peasantry or pirate or fairy, and so it was kind of a let's find an initial piece and see what we can go from there. So I found this pretty cool really long shirt that is gonna kind of be my tunic shirt, but I was looking at it thinking, ooh, can I make this into a peasant something or other? And it turned out there wasn't really a way for me to build a peasant's outfit here. So I found these pretty awesome pants. And pairing the top and the pants, I can make a pretty decent pirate outfit. So at this point, it's just a matter of coming up with some accessories. And Josh here is being kind enough to be my pedestal for all my stuff so it's not all over the floor. So along with that, I found a couple of scarves that match the color scheme and can be used either around my waist or around my head or wherever I need them in the moment to accessorize my piece. And with pirates, that's a pretty good bet. And then, so my next thing that I looked for was some shoes. And I found a pair, but they were a little small, so I had to look around and see if there was a different pair. And and these ones turned out to be pretty stinking awesome. They're gonna work great. So then I was on the hunt for some other accessories, and fortunately I found a belt, which it doesn't really fit my color scheme too well, but you know what? It'll work, so I'm happy. And then I found some keys. And let's be real, what pirate doesn't want some cool keys hanging off their belt? I also found this neat glass. It's a corked bottle. Not gonna pull the cork out because right now I don't want to damage it. But it's got a ship on it. It's gonna work to carry my water and to just have as my nifty little drinking thing so that I can make sure that I stay hydrated while I am outside running around. And really, a basket, because I want something to carry my wallet, my phone, my actual keys, and not feel like my purse is taking away from my outfit. So I'm gonna have a basket on board as well to make sure that I feel like my entire ensemble goes together. And counting all of this up, we're hitting right about $40 to $45.
Hello, glad to be on this side of the camera for a little bit. So when I came in, Josh really was the best. He took a nice little while to go ahead and get all of his stuff and explain wonderfully what all the process of what he was looking for. And honestly, we all kind of did the exact same thing. We came in thinking, okay, if we were to be a character, what kind of character would we be? I knew I wasn't going to go as a noble. It's just too expensive to try to be an effective noble. So what I decided was some kind of peasantry, some kind of merchant, either mid to low class, something along those lines. And I found a whole bunch of really good options, especially while Josh was doing his thing. So in the men's pants department, because I am not familiar with women's pant sizes, and that's something you really need to come in with an open mind about. Half of my costume is coming from the women's section. Most of the women's stuff just goes better with the Renaissance thing. So as long as we're doing in your mind, you know what you're going about it. It doesn't matter which gender the cloth has been made for. No one cares. They want to know how good you look as your character, whoever it is that you're going as. So I settled on a hunter-gatherer. I've got myself some of these darker pants, and I don't honestly know that I'm going to take these ones because gray, definitely tan though. For sure, 100%. This guy's going to be going with me, and I'm gonna need a shirt, obviously, something to go on the top, and I found this really nice woman's blouse. Okay, the reason I settled on a woman's blouse is because there are no buttons, there's no zippers, there's no pockets. It's literally what a hunter would have, because as Denise said in some of our earlier videos, they built their pockets. They didn't really have them. So the fact that I'm cheating and I have pockets with my pants means I don't have to worry about pockets externally. So this is going to go really, really well. And then to accent it, a very nice little vest. Whether it actually fits or not, that's up for debate. We'll see when I actually put it on when we get back to the shop. And or just to go over it, if it's a cooler day and I want to have something to keep me warm, this is wool. So it definitely fits, because you know it's been around as long as the Renaissance and longer, sheep. So this is good. This is really good to have. Gives me multiple layers in which to work with. I found this really nice reversible belt. So not only do I have something for this costume for this video, I have another belt for another purpose at another time for whatever the heck I want, black or brown. So that works out nicely. And again, it's not about what gender it's made for, it's about how good you look when you're done with it. These are women's boots. But a hunter is protecting his legs because he's going through where no one else has gone through. So high length boots are really, really key, and they will work out quite nicely. They do have a zipper on the inside, but no one's going to be looking at the inside of my thighs. So I'm not too worried about whether or not it fits. As long as it goes on my feet and it makes me look good, these are going to be great. And I'm pretty sure if I did my stuff right, and I had Kat's help too, if we did our stuff right, these should fit my 10.5 man feet. So we should be in good shape. Plus the boots. I couldn't get away with shoes like what Josh had. There were a couple of different options like he said, but most of them, because our feet are the same size, don't fit. And little dress shoes don't fit a hunter. So we sent for boots. Now, everyone needs something to drink with. So I found me this nice ceramic mug, and I would normally tie it to myself, and we'll have that later. So I needed some kind of string. Now the goal is to get everything from here. So I found string here, and I'm more than happy to share it with everyone else in the group if any of them need it. So we're all in this together. So we have string, we have a cup, and because I'm a hunter, I have a chair. It's a very nice chair. It definitely fits what we're going to be doing. Nice little action shot of the boot. So, but if you think about it, if you're going around and you're going around the fair or you're going anywhere, it's nice to have a seat. And literally, I can tie it to my side so that I can do exactly what I want with it. And it will do everything that I need it to. And if my kids happen to come or anything along those lines, I have somewhere to sit while the rest of the beggars have nothing and just are looking for a picnic table or a rock or a tree or something terrible. So I win. Even if I don't have the best looking costume, I came out of it with a chair. So there. Now we're going to go ahead and go up front. We're going to pay for this. A big shout out to the Idaho Youth Ranch. Again, it is amazing that they allowed us to come in here and do this. And this is just like any thrift store anywhere. So if you're in New York, Canada, England, you will find a thrift store in your area. Hopefully it does exactly like what the Idaho Youth Ranch does, where it supports the community and it helps people become better. It certainly helped us. So join us here in just a second when we go back and we actually put everything on and we show you exactly how amazing we did, and we'll let you know the total cost of what it is that we purchased. My budget is probably the highest out of them all. I think I spent about 60 bucks. So our limit was 100. We'll give you the final countdown at the end of the clip.
Well, hello again. It's really good to be back here at our actual shop. We have, as you can see, put on our costumes. We're each going to come out, introduce who we are and all that jazz, because we're characters. And we're going to tell you. So our budget was $100 per person, which realistically, we probably could have got away with a lot less, because in the end, I ended up spending $54 on my entire ensemble. So I have my chair, I have my cup. I am portraying a hunter. So as a hunter, I've got my boots, which for women's sizes, if you're not a woman and used to those sizes, turns out that a little bit bigger would have been good for me because these guys are tight, but we got this. So I've got my cup, I got that. I've got my nice wool shirt to go ahead and work with the colder weather, and if my fair event happens to be warmer, I can just whip this guy off, and I have nice little hunter shirt with my very adorable vest. And if I was to portray this character, my name would be Heath. I am a hunter. I've got my lovely chair over here that I can just sit in as I want, and me mug. So that's Heath. I'm ready for the Renaissance Fair.
Hello. I'm gonna toss this to Heath. So I went into this looking to put together a pirate costume, and I feel pretty confident in everything that I've got. I got my cute shoes on, which are very comfortable because they are wedge heels, which if you're gonna do any kind of a heel at an event, a wedge heel is most excellent because more stability. I mean, for real, let's be honest, girls. Stability is better. I've got my keys attached to my belt, which is making a nice little crossbody. My basket with my bottle for my water so that I stay hydrated, and my little accessories that are my personal so that I have my money and my phone and all of that without getting in the way. And I think we definitely could have done less than $100 per person because I totaled out at $45. So as my lovely little pirate, I am Natalia, and I demand all your gold.
Hello. So as I mentioned at the beginning, I was looking for kind of a Romany dancer type of thing. This is the final setup, and I have my little earrings and everything. I didn't end up getting shoes because I couldn't find anything that actually fit me that was kind of semi-comfortable and appropriate, so that's why. And then my coral top did not fit, unfortunately, but that is kind of a thing you kind of run into when you're shopping at thrift stores sometimes if you just grab and go, unless you actually try this stuff on. My total outfit cost about $38 total, so.
All right, so to me, my outfit works pretty decently. Everything fit almost. Again, sometimes thrifting gets you some weird things. These sleeves were tailored for someone with very short arms. And I didn't realize that when I was thrifting it. I did kick out some of the options that I was looking at buying, and I also found a belt. All told, this was a little under $40 for the entire outfit. If I were to take this to fair, this would be Pietro de Rossi, and he is an Italian up-and-coming merchant.
So as you can see from our little troupe here, we are all ready to go have fun at the Renaissance Fair, and it's literally just that easy. You can find a whole bunch of hidden treasures at any of your thrift stores, and we hope that your thrifting experience was as lucrative as our thrifting experience, and as the Idaho Renaissance Fair Inc., we hope that your history is as fun as our history, and we will hopefully catch you on the next one. Huzzah!